Students who are into tech, welcome to the Central Perspective channel, where I mainly talk about productivity and tech content, but this video in particular is centered towards you guys out there who are in your studies or going to be starting to soon. Now, the way this video is going to be structured is I'm going to have four main areas. You're going to have your main device, the powerhouse of it, so your tablets, your computers, your laptops, that sort of thing. Then you're going to have your secondary device, which will be a mobile phone, talking about that sort of thing. What I would say are the best sort of purchases, at least for a decent price and good quality. And then I'll also be giving you some accessories, which will be smartwatches, and lastly will be accessories for a desk setup. So obviously, when I'm saying student setup, what I really mean is your overall equipment that you can use when going through your studies. So let's jump straight into this with the powerhouse lineup. The first item is going to be an iPad Air. Now, for you Windows users, I will have another option for you in a moment, but I'm just going to go over the Apple ones first. So the iPad Air, if you are a student who is basically doing pretty much basic note-taking, using Word, that sort of thing, then I'd highly recommend just going for an iPad Air, getting an Apple Pencil, running it with that. Now, the reason why I recommend that over the baseline iPad is purely because you get next-gen Apple Pencil support, so all round it is going to be perfectly fine. It's not going to have to require you plugging it into the bottom or getting an adapter to charge your Apple Pencil, because what's the point of doing that when you can just magnetically connect it to the side? In my opinion, it makes more sense, and also you get a way more powerful tablet all round. If you decide though that you want to also get the keyboard, then honestly, when you're getting around to that price range of nearing $1,000, if not over that once you've bought the Apple Pencil, you might as well spend the extra 150 and just buy a MacBook Air, in my opinion. So if you have that money to spend, then I'd highly recommend those. If you're just wanting a good device that's going to last you all the way through your course, which most courses here in the UK are about 3 to 5 years, so a MacBook or an iPad Air will definitely do the trick. But if you're a Windows user, my recommendation is to first look at what it is that you are doing, because obviously if you're doing something programming related, you might need something a bit more powerful than an iPad Air, and you'll want something that can at least run the programs and not be a tablet version of them. So all round, I'd definitely say double check that first. But I'd say the best company all round that I've noticed, at least from my experience of the job that I had in the past, which was selling things like technology to people, basically made me become much more of a fan of Lenovo. They're a company that definitely have great keyboards, for one, on their laptops. All round, probably the best laptop keyboards you're going to get. This, you also get great quality for a good price. I'm going to have some down in the description below of what I'd say is a good value for money. All of them will be between £450 and £550. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure to go check them out as well. Now let's jump into the next item, which is going to be a mobile phone. Now, I own an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Would I recommend it to people? No, not at all. Definitely not. Don't even get a 14 Pro or a 14, to be honest. The 13 lineup is perfect for you, and the 14 is literally slight incremental upgrades that add no value, but they still want to charge you the extra £100 to £150 for the item. Don't get it, just get the last gen ones. What I'd recommend, to be honest, if you're an Apple user, is an iPhone 13, as the 13 Pro is really nice. If you have that extra little bit of money to splash, then 100% go for the 13 Pro. It is a great phone with an insanely amazing battery life, especially the iPhone 13 Pro Max, ridiculous, absurd. Same with the 14 Pro Max as well, but again, it's such small changes that there's no real point of getting it. But besides this, you also have the fact that, you're getting an all-round great phone that is literally almost on par with the new ones. So there is literally 0 point of going for a 14. Now, besides this, if you're an Android user, the phone that I'd recommend is going to be the Pixel 7. You get the latest version of Android, probably one of the nicest looking versions of Android. You get Google Assistant and everything that comes along with that, being one of the best assistants at all across the board when it comes to an AI assistant. And then as well as that, you also get their amazing camera rig. And both of these phones cost anywhere between £650 to £750, depending on the day, depending on the deal, that sort of thing. So you can always find them at good prices. But both of these phones are some of the best quality phones that you can get, either on iOS or on Android. And then the next item on this list is going to be a smartwatch of some sort. For myself, I have an Apple Watch, however I rarely use it. Honestly, I will probably make a dedicated video talking about smartwatches in the future, just talking about how, in my opinion, they might be one of the most pointless pieces of tech in human existence. But if you are someone who is in the market for one and wants something to just kind of have along with you as well, let's say you are wanting to get into exercise, or you are already into exercise something you want to track in device, then honestly, if you're an Apple user, just get an Apple Watch. I'd probably say the SE will be perfectly fine. However, again, if you have that little bit of extra money that you want to spend, then go for the 7 or 8. I think the 8 is the most recent one. Don't go for an Ultra if you're a normal person. There is literally zero reason to. So yeah, do not go for the Ultra. But if you are an Android user, I would probably say a Galaxy Watch is going to be the best thing. From a lot of the reviews that have come out about the Pixel Watch, they haven't been overly confident in the power of them. However, all round they seem okay. But I don't know too much about the Android side of things when it comes to a watch, so I'm not going to 100% steer you in the direction of going, yeah, 100% buy this. But from the knowledge that I have from, again, my previous job, and just seeing all the reviews online, the Samsung watches seem to have a lot of credibility and actual usage that works across the board, works really well no matter what device you're using. Huawei is another company that has made some good smartwatches. However, again, you do run into the issue of it being Huawei and the factor that obviously they have some things that will banned and that sort of thing because of them being banned from the Apple Store. However, I don't think that actually impacts watches. Let me know in the comments if you know, but yeah, I do believe that is the case. If not though, then again, Huawei are a great choice as well. But now let's talk about a setup itself. So if you've got whatever device it is, you're going to want to start actually making it into somewhat of a setup. Now, if you've got a tablet, then you can actually put it in and connect it to a screen now, so that is something that you can do. However, again, it's not really the best usage. I'm just going to talk about this from a laptop perspective. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do, in my opinion, is before you do anything is get an external keyboard and mouse, purely because it's so much better for you and ergonomics wise to use that over your laptop keyboard and trackpad. So get those, have it on your desk, and then probably get a laptop stand. The keyboard that I'd recommend is the Keychron K2. This one I love, absolutely. It is a mechanical keyboard, sounds absolutely outstanding. But if you don't want to have something that's really clicky, makes loads of noise, then I'd probably say one of the MX keyboards might do the trick for you. Or if you want a mechanical keyboard and still want Logitech, then the MX keys that have just come out, I've forgotten the exact name of them, but all of this will be linked in the description below, but they've got their own mechanical lineup as well that sound very nice. And then for the mouse, and then honestly, there's no other real recommendation outside of the MX Master 3. Absolutely outstanding mouse. I've got the Gen 2 one. I want the Gen 3 one at some point in the future. Not going to get it just yet, as my MX Master 2 has not done me any wrong so far, besides the factor that it is micro USB. That's the only downside. It charges by the most old connection known to man. Now, when it comes to a monitor, it doesn't really matter what device you've chosen for this, as a MacBook will work and so will a Windows device connection anyway. Most likely, as long as there's a USB-C port, as most Windows devices now are USB-C, but if they have a HDMI port, that's great, use that. Same with the MacBooks as well. They're normally USB-C if you're going for an Air. The only one that has a HDMI is a Pro one. But you can kind of see behind me a rough idea of the differences between a 4K monitor and a 1440p monitor. If you were to take a guess of which one is which, and you said that this one is a 4K monitor, you'd be right. It is a lot nicer to look at, it's a lot more glossier as well, all round looks 10 times better than this one over here. Now, the overall thing that I would say is if you can go for a 4K one, this one right here only cost me, I think, £270, as it was on a clearance deal as well through Amazon, so I bought that. All round, 100% would recommend it, and I'd say normally you're all good with just one monitor. I'm honestly heavily considering dropping down to just one monitor again, or going back to my ultra wide, possibly, because I don't really need the double monitors anymore. I don't actively play games on one monitor with stuff open on the other, and I don't play games over that much on PC anymore. So all round, I don't need the two monitors, and overall editing on just either one monitor is very nice, as I do that anyway, or doing it on the ultra wide is even better. But yeah, those are my overall picks when it comes to a phone, a main power unit, aka your MacBook or your iPad or a Windows device that's Lenovo, personal recommendations anyway, a smartwatch and the accessories. So with that all being said, hopefully you guys found value in this video. If you did, make sure to check out all the items down below. Feel free to have a look through, and if there's anything that catches your eye, then you never know what you might want to do. But yeah, with that all being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.